Just 7 months ago, artificial intelligence software on Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 suddenly took command of the Boeing 737 MAX out of the control of the pilots, pulling the aircraft down, speeding towards the ground. The pilots fought back, engines screaming at full throttle, trying to pull the aircraft back to safety. As the pilots and the AI software fought back and forth, passengers screaming, men, women, and children, terrified, until the aircraft, driven by AI software, crashed into the ground, killing the humanity of all the people on there, their dreams, their ambitions, their desires, and killed them. Ironically, this was the second time in 6 months that the very same AI software, designed for the safety of the aircraft, took command of the aircraft and killing all the humanity on board. 346 souls dead. This already fulfills Elon Musk's fear that AI could be an existential threat to humanity. It has already started with killing those 346 souls. This is not a science fiction movie. It's not 2050. It was the year 2020, happening around the time that Paul Sharpe won the evaluation of the speaker champion. And there are far more complex applications of AI. That application is fairly simple in the AI realm. AI in warfare, with weapons, with ideas, empowerment of machines that, when gone wrong, the results can be horrific, because AI gives the tool of man to amplify for the good and the bad. Today we debate overall, AI is bad for humanity. The first definition of humanity from Webster's dictionary is the quality of state of being humane, compassionate, sympathetic, generous behavior. I look at the divided state of people that Liz mentioned. I've seen my high school friends, people in my family. I've seen friendships almost torn apart in our club through this divide. And that's the humanity that we're talking about. How it chips away at your humanity. Pretty soon, you're thinking differently, unknowingly, as you drink the sweet poison of artificial intelligence. And therefore, I beg you to wake up, not to be lulled by all the good things AI can do for us. Of course, it's good for us, but that's not the issue. But you to wake up and to guard against what artificial intelligence influences you and the potential of danger in the future, like the 737 Boeing MAX. Wake up and realize the first step is to acknowledge, overall, AI is bad for humanity.
You tell me that AI is crashing planes, Lester. Lockerbie, 1984. Libyan terrorists crashed a plane that killed hundreds of people in Scotland. How is that any different from what AI did? At least AI, we can fix it. Terrorists, hatred. How can you fix it?
There's a whole difference between humans overpowering humans and killing people, to where something written in good intention to protect the people goes wrong. See, there are holes in the armor of artificial intelligence because it is dependent on sensors. Being in industry, being from the aircraft industry, I know the fallibility of sensors. So, how do you think that this can be made so reliable
From the airline industry, are planes safer to fly today or 100 years ago with all the AI they have implemented now? Are planes safer to fly today than they were 50 years ago without the AI? And be honest. Don't make up facts.
I thought I was asking questions. Okay, so the 737 was based on an aircraft that is 60 years old. It flew for all these years, and then when it first comes out with the newest of the software, the most advanced state-of-the-art protection that can be put on an aircraft, we see that within a very short time that it turned on the people it was to protect.
Once again, you haven't answered the question. Those were 2 planes out of hundreds of thousands of planes that fly every day. Are planes, in general, 99.9% of the planes that fly every day, safer today because of artificial intelligence than what they were 50 years ago? And they deserve to know the truth.
I would say, of course, it's safer to fly today. However,
exactly, because of
this is, wow, penalty! But this is the result. Also, in this instance, one of the first times where the software turned against the people, that it overcame the pilots who were valiantly trying to save the aircraft and actually kept the aircraft nosing down and down and down until it crashed. Those pilots were not able.
So you agree, planes generally are safer today, but you say this thing crashed the plane. Did it crash it on purpose, or was that just a programming error that could be fixed?
That's the scary part of it. This was a programming error written by people with all the good intentions in the world. And as AI advances, when it's in the warfare, I watched a video of a conference of the Air Force Space and Air Warfare Department. It is scary that those things controlling weapons of mass destruction, and with all the oversight, Boeing had...
We're done.